Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I, Bancroft, am bringing you all another deck profile. Not just any deck profile, but Super 17. But this one's mono yellow. Where beforehand I did a kind of a yellow-green take on it, which I think I still like more, just because I like the Android 13 and be able to do this quick arrival double strike cards. But this was not a bad build at all. I did have one matchup earlier this week where I played against a hand control deck, which was really a hard matchup. But overall, I did go 2-1 in the end, so it wasn't bad. I do like this deck, and hope you guys do as well. And keep in mind, if there's anything you see that I could do differently, let me know in the comments down below. But let's go into it. Super 17. Auto, when this card attacks, pretty much you choose one Android card in your hand, discard it. When this card attacks, draw 2 cards. That's great because a lot of the cards you play are actually play from your drop area, so you want to put cards in the drop area to continue your chains, which is kind of like your classic green Super 17 was as well. Awaken is 4 or less, or you have Unison with specific cost of 2 in play. You may draw 1 card, switch to one of your energies active mode, and you add cards from your life to your hand so you have 6 life in case you were to do the method with using the Unison. Once Awaken, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, and this card gets 2,000 power for the battle for each card placed under your battle cards. So if you have 3 battle cards on play, and say all 3 of those have 2 cards underneath them, that's an additional 6,000 power to your, that's additional 12,000 power for this card, because that's 6 cards times 2,000. So, activate main, choose 1 Super 17 card in your battle area, place up to 1 Hellfighter 17 or 1 Android 17 card from your drop area under the chosen card. So it just helps you boost the leader's attack on swing as well, which is pretty cool, because like I said, there is no limitation to that. He just gets stronger and stronger the more cards you absorb. Activate battle once per turn, Spirit Boost 1. Choose 1 Super 17 card in your battle area. Place 3 cards under it in its owner's drop area. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and one of each of your opponent's battle cards and Unison cards. Switch them to rest mode. What I love about that is that your opponent can swing with their lead first, and you can go, okay, cool. If they combo or not, whatever, you go to your combo phase, activate battle, remove 3 cards underneath one of your cards, tap their Unison, tap a problem battle card, and that stopped 2 cards without you having to use a single negate, which is amazing. So that's the leader. Going into the Unison, obviously we play the Android 20 and Dr. Mew. Forgot how shiny and colorful this card was. So, auto once per turn. If it's your turn, when you activate an evolve or union skill, you add a marker to this card, so it helps boost itself. So you do play for 2 energy, so it has 2 when it comes to play. Has a +1, so potentially on your turn 2 when you play this card, it goes straight up to 4 markers. And a lot of times when your opponent sees 4 markers in Unison, they're like, cool, keep it. But this has a secondary auto once per turn. If it's your turn, when you remove a marker from this card using Spirit Boost skill, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and KO it. That could be a problem for your opponent, but at the same time, the clause is that the only Spirit Boost I play in this deck, correction, I do play 2. The leader, and I play another battle card, which we'll go into later. This one requires me dumping 3 cards underneath another card just to do that. So, as long as your opponent knows how to control this deck, they could keep your field clean, which would hurt you from using this secondary auto. But like I said, if they want to spend 4 attacks trying to kill the Unison, go right ahead. I'll have open energy, potentially having some negates or something, but we'll go into that later. The +1, draw 1 card, and you choose 1 card in your hand, discard it. That is unfortunate, you can't just add cards to your hand. You do have to cycle up. Like I said, you do like playing things from your drop area, so it works out anyways. -2, add up to 1 mono yellow battle card with energy cost of 5 or less, and the evolve skill from your drop area to your hand. This is how we cycle our 5 cost Android 17 card, because there's no other way of getting that card back from your drop area to your hand or to the field besides using -2. So it's just nice if you have to, if your opponent were to take care of it, you could recur it back to your hand, which is always nice. So that's the Unison. Going into the 1-drops, since I am playing the mono yellow version, I went with a 4/4 of the Hellfighter 17 and the Android 17. The difference between the 2 is that the Hellfighter has blocker, and then the Android 17 has barrier. So typically, I like playing the 17 more, just so I know it's protected. Also, of course, your opponent plays a counterplay, but if they want to counterplay a 1-drop card, go right ahead. I'll just play another energy for another one. The Union Absorb is the same for both cards, but it requires the other one. So in this case, Android 17, you add one Hellfighter from your drop area or hand, put it underneath this chosen card. Then you could play a 3-drop from your deck or drop on top of this card, which is pretty cool. And like I said, for him, you grab the 17 instead of the Hellfighter. If you're having trouble finding the Android 17, we have solutions for that. I play 2 of the promo Android 20 Infernal Return, which on play you activate main for 1 energy. Choose one. Either play up to 1 green or yellow Android 17 card with energy cost of 1 from your deck or drop area. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Or you choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 5 or less and negate its skill's return. This is a great card because it works both for the Super 17 from set 14. Yeah, and then also works great for the Androids from set 13. It just depends what you want to go with. But in this case, we all use the top one to replay this one in case we can't see it. We also have Hellfighter 17 as a searcher, which searches the top 5 cards of your deck for a mono yellow Android card with energy cost 5 or less, or a Unison Pacific cost of 2 adds to your hand. So just ways to make sure we can find these things as soon as possible to get the stitching going. The 3-drop going next into the chain. Super 17 prepping for Union, great card because it has activate main, which is limited to 1. You just discard this card and 1 other Android card from your hand. Typically, you want to kind of do the other pairing to the Hellfighter into the Android 17. Then you search top 7 cards of your deck, add up to 2 yellow Android cards with energy cost 5 or less from your from that selection to your hand, which is always great. It's a good way of searching out the 5-drops. It's a good way of searching out just extra yellow cards you need to add. And the 5-drop, Super 17 Hellish Armageddon. Nope. Scratch that. Super 17, the 5-drop. Deflect dual attack. Cost 1 to evolve on top of the 3-drop. And then on play, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 4 or less in rest mode. Place it under this card. Then draw 1 card, which is always great. Just it replaces itself. Keep in mind, I did not mention this one earlier. Super 17 3-drop also draws a card when you play with Union, which is pretty cool. The secondary auto here is when this card is KO'd by an opponent's skill, play up to 1 mono yellow Super 17 card. Sorry. Play up to 1 mono yellow Super 17 card with energy cost of 3 from your drop area. So pretty much you just get to play that card. You don't get the draw because it wouldn't play with Union, but it just helps you keep your chain going, which is always a great thing. And the last card for the chain is the 8-drop. The Flag Triple Strike. It does cost 2 to evolve, and it does require you have 4 more energy, which is unfortunate, but it is a very strong card, which makes sense why you have to wait to turn 4 for it. So outside being a triple strike 25k, it does have an activate main. Once returned, you place 3 cards underneath this card to the drop areas, whatever. You get to resand this card and your leader card, and you get to steal one of your opponent's battle cards. No requirement on the energy, so as long as it's a barrier, you get to take it. And then for every card underneath it, this card gains 1,000 power for the turn for each energy cost in the battle cards under this card. So if you have like 4 cards that equal up to a total of like 15 energy, that's a plus 15,000 to this card alone, making it a 40k triple strike, like almost a secret rare in itself, which is pretty cool. And just cleaning up the 17s, I do play 2 of the Championship 2021 ones. It is a blocker, so if you wanted to play it for 3 energy, you can, but we're never going to play this card. We always combo this card off or discard it using one of the other card effects. And we always use the bottom effect, if correct, which is activate main, limit 1, choose 1 Super 17 card in your battle area, place this card under the chosen card, so it just gives it more of a boost, helps boost the leader as well. The first effect is if you're playing the set 13 androids, if correct. If your leader card is yellow and you switch one yellow android card in your battle area to rest mode, play this card from your hand, so it's a free play if you're playing the other engine. So step away from androids for a bit. Going to super combos. Play 3 Krillin moments before comeback. It's just a great way of cycling cards, putting cards back in your deck if you don't need them. Yeah, it's always good. 1 Zamasu, just because being able to tap a card or your opponent's leader is always a great option. It's just a great protection method. And because we do play a Unison on turn 2, we play 3 Vegeta's Pride for Transformation. It does have blocker, so it just helps keep ourselves protected as well. It taps a card, so it keeps your opponent from pushing. 1, freezes army reinforcements. The deck does a lot on its own when it comes to just protecting yourself. Like I said, I play the Zamasu to keep cards rested, have the counterplays to stop cards from being played, or to put cards in rest mode on play, and play the battle card. So just having 1 freeze army reinforcement isn't a bad option. It helps you also get down from 5 to 4 if you need to. Then we play 2 Flying Nimbuses, my favorite negate of all time. I know it's gotten knocked out by leagues, what it used to be, because Unisons are a thing, so you negate a battle card attack, cool, they still have 3 more attacks coming at you potentially, and if they have the energy to play another Unison, they totally can. So because of that, I play 3 Mecha Frieza. Potentially could be a 1-cost negate on your opponent's turn, and then if they want to continue attacking you with non-Unison cards, they have to tap one of their cards. So it helps control your opponent's field. But then you're like, but I haven't seen a lot of 1-drops yet. Well, okay. We got Power of the Super Saiyan. If you're playing Yellow deck, you've got to play it. It can be a negate, which I rarely use, but I had to use in my last matchup. You typically use the Activate Battle as long as you have 1 active energy. You draw 1 card and you tap one of your opponent's battle cards or Unisons. And that's it. You can't activate their copies, so it's like I said, limit 1 before limit 1 is a thing for some reason. 2, Awaken attacks. It's like Champa but better. For those who disagree, let me explain. When you swing with your leader, if you say you have 2 battle cards in play, both those battle cards say it's the 2 3-drops, and they have 2 cards underneath those two cards. This card naturally get 8,000 boost. Cool. Awaken Power for free by pitching a card on your card gives them additional cards. But you can give this card Double Strike if one of your cards, say the 5-drop, will still retain 3 or more cards underneath it once you remove a card. So it's always a great thing. So like if you have the 5-drop on board and you've already used the Activate main on your leader and say the Super 17 here to constantly fill the cards up underneath a battle card, then from there, once you swing with leader, potentially giving it a plus. I think in one of my matchups, I got this leader up to 43,000 somehow. But got the boost from the battle cards there, didn't activate battle here, pitch a card, still had enough cards underneath a battle card to give it Double Strike plus the additional boost. So like, it's free Champa. You don't need to play Champa in this deck. That's my opinion, though. 2 Final Flash. It's yellow. This card will make your opponent flip a table. I mean, they go big swing and you go nope. Especially if they're playing Triple Flash.
Yeah. And only Triple Flash.
Well, that was hard to cards. That's all that was.
Yeah.
All right. So going to the slight tech options. 1 Poutine, the deck thins itself out enough with searching for androids that I will see this. If I don't see it, it's not a problem. Swift Retaliation Cooler. I mean, if you pay 2 on turn 4, can't finish the attack, so you keep 2 energy open to protect yourself next turn. Go into turn 5. Your opponent is like, okay, you got Cooler in your hand? I'm like, maybe. Do you want to negate? And they're like, no. 1, Return of the Dragon Fist. I mentioned earlier I did have another card that does Spirit Boost. This is the card. For 3 energy, if you have 4 more energy in a yellow Unison in play this card from your hand, which is not bad. Deflect, Double Strike. When this card is played, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO them. Activate main here once per turn. Spirit Boost 2. If your leader card is mono yellow, this card gains dual attack. For the turn, your opponent can't activate skills on battle cards with energy cost 7 or less, which is amazing. And then because you've used the Spirit Boost here, you could turn around and pop a card on your opponent's side of the field in rest mode, ignoring barrier. And last but not least, Super 17 Sibling Absorb. Yes, in my honest opinion, you probably could play any other Secret Rare. You could play the Xeno Cell, because you get the 8-drop out, you get 3-drop back out, and a 1-drop out easily on turn 5. You could play Lineage, you could play Shinron to stop your opponent from attacking. They have a 40k blocker, potentially giving itself a dual attack, Double Strike. But having a Cold Bloodlust without being a Cold Bloodlust is always a great thing. It is also a 40k crit with deflect, so it cannot be hit back. It can be removed by other skills, unfortunately, but it also puts a card underneath it, which goes with the leader's overall engine as well. So I had to just play it. It's also a pretty card. I love the honeycomb pattern they added to it. But that is my Super 17 deck profile. Hope you all enjoyed. There is definitely no sideboard for this one because I played this one in the best of 1, so not doing that at all. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below and on the screen. And that's it. Read your cards, know your plays, and like always, fluff out.